Oh, hi there. And we are live this hour on Verbling, the next in my Grammar Garage series. Today's Grammar Garage is all about the third conditional. But my promise to you is no more boring grammar classes. So we're not going to learn about the third conditional in a boring, disconnected sort of structural way with lots of exercises. We're going to learn about it through communicating, through reading, writing, and talking. So today's class is actually about how to talk about surprising events. And we're going to read about, actually the description here, if you haven't seen it, is in this class, you'll find out about the rather unusual way a famous actor you all know met his wife. We'll use that article to learn about the secret to talking about surprising events, which is the third conditional. And we'll go over what conditionals are and how to use them. This is the third conditional sentence form. That's an if sentence. You'll then master how to talk about surprising events yourself, and you'll use the third conditional at the end of class to talk about your own surprising events. So that's the plan for today. And let me get my name on the board. Do a little introduction. There we go. And we'll get started. I'm John Eric. I'm in America, coming at you from Lisbon, Portugal. I forgot where I was. From Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on the Verbling chat window, you see that link. Actually, I can show it to you. I think I can. If you click on the Verbling chat window, and you click on that link, it'll take you to my profile page, which you're going to see right here. And you can follow me to see all my upcoming group classes, which I'll show you when the page loads. You can also schedule a private tutoring class. Let's take a quick look. These exercises and other things, we'll get familiar with these phrasal verbs in the very beginning. Very loud. A little game to help you put them together. I'm going to have to mute somebody. That was very loud. Take a look. Down here, you can see the follow button. And over here, you can send a message. So I'm always doing this introduction, but I think you should actually see what I'm talking about. Okay? Here is our material for today. And I'll put it there in the chat window for you as well, where it says open this, so that you can download it and review it later. All right. So talking about surprising events. Hey, what famous actor do you think we're going to be talking about today? Does anyone recognize that guy? Who is that handsome devil?
Michael Moore.
Michael Moore. It's not Michael Moore. It's Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, I'm sorry, yeah, from Batman. Yeah.
Good guess, though. How are you, Rohan?
I'm fine, thank you, teacher.
Very good, very good. Who else do we have out there? Oh, look, it's Ksenia. Hello, Ksenia. Long time no see.
Yes, hello.
Where have you been?
Your schedule is not convenient for me because I have a dinner at this time and I usually work.
Oh, guess what? I'm gonna be teaching later, starting next week.
Let's go.
Maybe I'll see you.
Yes, of course.
Let's see who else is out there. Welcome back, Karam, and welcome back, Sylvia, and welcome back, Vicente. Hello, Vicente. It's been a week. How have you been?
Yes, I am fine. Thank you very much.
Excellent. And we've got Mr. Johnny out there, Johnny Chang. Hello, Johnny Chang. How are you?
Hello, John. Long time no see. Nice to see you again.
Did you catch the fish yet? Or you're still fishing?
I catch the fish every week.
Every week? Because I can see you there with the spear in your hand, going after Moby Dick. One day you'll catch the big one. One day. Hey, listen.
On Sunday.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I'm there. Oh, look, there's Jose. Can't forget Jose. Mr. Awesome, welcome back. This is Mr. Awesome, everyone. Because he's awesome.
Hello, John.
Are you awesome still?
Yes.
Good. Take a look at this, everyone. Here's the plan. Actually, before we go into the story of a surprising event in the past, before we go there, I want you to start to think about something which will help you relate to the story. And my question for you was, yeah, here it is. What possible reasons? What possible reasons might someone have to change their name? Before we go into the story and you find out about some surprising events, I want you to think about this. Why would you want to change your name? Why would someone want to change their name? Sylvia, what comes to mind? Why would you want to change your name? Sylvia is such a lovely name. Why would you want to change it?
Name or surname? I know, for example, my mother wants to change her surname
Yeah?
because he's something like paper, and it's terrible. She can put it's weird. So sometimes people have a name or surname that they are not really well connected.
Ah. Okay, so what was her surname that she didn't like?
For my mother, paper. It's carta. So it's
Carta.
paper. Yes. So we can joke with everything. We can say carta bianca, so white paper.
White paper.
And yes, it's terrible.
Okay.
It's not so bad, but yeah.
So one reason is that I guess you don't like what it means, I guess.
Yes.
What it means, or maybe how it sounds. Okay, that's a good reason to change your name. Ksenia, what would make you change your name? If your name wasn't a lovely name like Ksenia, if your name was Hildegard Pumpernickel, what would make you change your name? I'm just curious.
What? So it's I don't know, bad name only reason to change your name.
Just
You
because
don't
because it's a bad name. And what is a bad name? What is a
don't
bad name?
know.
A bad name?
Stupid, something stupid is something about object in our real life, like comb or like a mirror. I don't know, like a wall, something like that.
Indicates an object. That's true. Like comb. I think comb's a good name. Like comb, or book, or chair. I can think of another reason. What if your name means something that it's not supposed to mean? You know, because for example, let me think of a really good example. You know, in America, we're all European, right? Like, we colonized America. We're all these Europeans. And no one knows what their last names mean anymore, right? Like, if you're from Central South America and your name is Cruz, like Tom Cruise, most Americans don't know that means cross. It's like a Spanish name. People don't know that. So I could see, like, if your name has a kind of bad meaning, right, in the original language, maybe that's something you'd want to change. A very common name, for example, in Portugal, a very common name is like Borata, which is basically cockroach, those ugly bugs that are in your house. Who would want to be named, right? That's one thing that comes to mind. So maybe the meaning in another language is not very appealing. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I want you to read the story, but actually I want to divide you into two groups because I want you to each read a different version of the story and try to inform each other about some strange or some surprising events. So here's what I'm going to do. I just need to change the order of the slides so I can put the stories back to back. So let me just do that. Let me divide you in half. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's put Johnny, and let's put Johnny and Jose and Karam and Ksenia. I'm going to put you on the first story, and you're going to see that directly on the screen. And then Rohan and Sylvia and Vicente, I'm going to put you on the second story, which you're not going to see on the screen. You're going to have to open it in your computer. And I'll give you the link. It's the same link, but I'll tell you the page in just a second, because I'm just going to change the order of the slides, because right now they're in. I put the story at the end, but I'm going to move it up so it's a little bit easier to see. Just give me a second to slide these forward. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay, so Johnny, Jose, Karam, and Ksenia, you are going to read this story starting on page 2 and running to page 3. Sorry, the text is a little hard to read. I apologize about that. Okay? And I'm going to give you like 3 minutes or so to try to read the story, and then we'll see where we are. Rohan, Sylvia, and Vicente, you are going to read another version of the story, which you're going to see on slide 4. Give me a second, I'll reload the page. Whoops. There you go. On slide 4, you'll see her story. And it's I made the text bigger here. Slide 4, 5, 6, and 7. But the text is really big, so it's actually quite short. Okay, again, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to read that. And then you're going to take turns to try to inform each other about the similarities or differences in the two sides of Michael Caine's story. Okay? You're not going to see this on screen, though. You're going to have to go there. So, Rohan, do you have the text open in your browser? Did you download it, or did you open it?
Yeah, I opened it.
Okay. And do you see her story on slide 4?
Yeah.
Excellent. And you, Vicente, do you have the story open? Vicente?
Yes, it's okay. It's open.
What's the first word you see on slide 4, Vicente?
In the page
4.
4.
Yeah, what's the first sentence?
The first sentence is at the age of 19.
Good, that's it. That's
Shakira.
it. That's it. Excellent. Okay, Sylvia, do you have it open? Sylvia?
Yes, it's open.
Okay, good. What's the second sentence you see on page 4?
Her boss suggests.
That's it. Good. Okay. All right. So, we're going to read through this silently for 3 minutes. Okay? If there's any questions along the way, just ask, no problem. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and then I'm going to ask you to start comparing details. You may run into some vocabulary problems. I suggest you read the whole article first. Don't worry about the vocabulary, and we'll clarify the vocabulary at the very end. Okay? Any questions so far? Are we cool? Okay.
Yes.
If there's no questions, let's get started. Okay? So, Johnny, Jose, Karam, and Ksenia, I'm going to leave. You tell me when you want me to turn the page.
Okay.
So 3 minutes begins now. Two minutes and 30 seconds left. Okay, about another minute, everyone.
Okay.
How are we doing, everyone?
Yep, finished.
Everyone read everything? Are we cool?
Yes.
Yes.
Johnny, you finished?
Finish.
Yeah? Okay, excellent. Okay. By the way, I made a little mistake. I had one of the slides out of order, but I just corrected it. So, if you notice that your story, group 2, if you notice your story was confusing, it's because I think the first and second pages were flipped around, but I fixed it just now. Okay? Okay, so let's give this a try. Here's the plan. Let's see how much you understood. I want you to think about the following areas. I'll put this in the chat window. I want you to think about when the people that you read about were born. I want you to think about when the people you read about. I want you to think about the career and the path the career went on. I want you to think about the childhood. You'll see this in the chat window in just a moment. I want you to think about their first job, and I want you to think about how they met their wife or husband. I want you to think about those areas. In fact, what I want you to do is try to let each other know. I want you to tell your story, and I want you to touch on those 5 topics. When your person was born, something about their career, something about their childhood, something about their first job, and something about how they met their partner, their husband or their wife. So think about those details for a minute. You both read different sides of this same story. Okay? Tell your partner, we'll take turns. Also, what extra information did you learn about your story from listening to your partner's story? Okay? And I've got a few questions at the very end to ask you. All right? So let's do this. Let's divide his story into 4 parts. Okay? I'm going to give you a topic. You say something about it. Ksenia, we're going to start with you. Are you ready?
Yes?
I want you to talk a little bit about where Michael Caine was born and a little bit about his career. Tell us, what do you remember?
Okay. Michael Caine was born in southeast London. His family was poor because his mother was a cook and cleaning lady. His father was a potter in a fish market. He left school in 16 and went for a job as manager for some film company. Then he went to the army. After army, he was an assistant stage manager at the SETI company. And also he gets some little role in the theater, and then he was being noticed
He was
by
noticed.
he was noticed by some agent, and in this moment his career was started.
Okay, very good, very good. Just a few things. Look in the chat window. Don't forget the articles, Ksenia. After the army, meaning the service he did in the army, after the service or after the army, he got some little roles. I forgot what you said, but you were missing a word. Okay, yeah, he got some roles. And also, finally, he was noticed by some agents, or he's noticed by an agent. Excellent. Okay, Sylvia, talk a little bit about where your person was born and a little bit about her career, just like Ksenia did. Give us a few details.
So Shakira was born in Guyana, and her family was a mix from Muslims and India region. So her family was poor, and his father died when she was really little, and her mother grew up 4 of these children. So she left the school when she was little, and she became really famous because she applied for being a model.
She applied? Applied?
No, her boss sent an application form.
Well, we wouldn't say applied. We say she tried out or auditioned. Two words: tried out or auditioned to be a model.
Model.
Like this. Look in the chat window.
Okay.
She tried out to be, or she auditioned to be. Okay. Okay, very good. You think that's anything else, or is that it for now?
It's all for now. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got Michael Caine and we've got Shakira, but a different Shakira than the one you're thinking. Ksenia, don't forget. Well, we'll get to his name in a second. Okay, we'll get to his name. Okay, now let's go to Johnny and then Rohan. Okay, for your next topic, you're going to talk a little bit about. Maybe we can go a little bit to his first job. I think we did childhood already. Let's go to his first job, Johnny, and I want you to talk a little bit about his name as well. Those are two topics for you. First job and name.
Michael Caine got his first job when he is 16.
When he is or was?
He was 16 and worked as an office messenger for a film company in Soho. And what do I need to talk about?
And talk about his name. Is that his real name?
Okay, yeah. His real name is called Michael White.
Michael White.
Yeah, Michael, sorry. Michael White. Yeah.
Morris
and then he
Michael
tried the name. Yeah. And he tried the name when he was in a movie. No, when he talked to an agent, and then the agent, the other people told him that if he used that name, probably won't go very far in the movie business. So
nobody wants to hire Morris Micklewhite. No one's interested. Yes. So he had to change his name. And how did he come up with his new name?
So he watched a movie, and the movie's name is so the movie's name is called the Caine Community. Is it? Mutiny or mutiny.
Mutiny.
Mutiny. And he finally decided to choose the name as Michael Caine.
And that's how I came up with the name, Michael Caine, from the Caine Mutiny. How do I spell mutiny? Like this in the chat window. That is a very famous film by Humphrey Bogart, one of the great Bogart classics. So the dude was in a phone box calling his agent, and the guy said, nope, you need a new name. So he looked around and he picked the first interesting thing he saw, which was the Humphrey Bogart title, The Caine Mutiny. Humphrey Bogart plays Caine in the movie. Okay, very good, very good. Rohan, same with you. Talk about her name, if there's something interesting we ought to know, and talk about her first job, Rohan.
Well, her name was Shakira Bakhsh, but she never changed her name, except
Okay.
when she got married. Then she was
Right.
named Shakira Caine. And
Not Shakira Micklewhite?
no, I think Shakira Caine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says Shakira Caine here in the article.
Okay, good.
And her first job was she was a secretary because after school she decided, because she was poor, that she needed money for her brothers and her mother.
Mm-hmm.
So she became a secretary, support her family, and then during that time there was a beauty contest. Should I tell that also, or just what our first job was?
Well, you said that she was a secretary, but no, go ahead. Talk a little bit about the contest. Sure.
Yeah, and her boss, because she was beautiful, and her boss advised her to take part of the beauty contest that was called, let me see, Miss Guyana contest, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she won that contest, and then went to London, yeah, to participate in another contest, and that was the Miss World title, for the Miss World title.
Okay, very good. By the way, just a quick point. Take part in the contest.
Yeah, take part in the contest.
That's right.
Okay.
With take part, you've always got to say in.
In.
Okay, very good, very good. So, now we're coming to the point where the stories kind of come together. Let's go to Mr. Karam.
Yes.
Karam, I want you to tell me, from your point of view, how did they meet? How did he meet his wife?
It's actually it's a coincidence because he saw her in television, and he decided to marry it with him because he loved her. He loved her, and her is
She was?
she was.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find her. She was sharing a flat, and Michael called
on the phone.
Evening call.
So back up a second, Karam. Where did he see her for the first time?
On TV.
He saw her on TV, right?
Yeah, on TV.
And where was he? Where was he?
Where was he?
Where was Michael Caine? In what part of the world was he?
Yeah, Shakira in Guyana.
Yeah, Shakira was on TV in another country. And Michael Caine, he was where? Where was Michael Caine?
In London.
He's in London, of course. Michael Caine is in London, watching television, and he sees this girl on a TV commercial, and he's like, that's the girl I want. I'm Michael Caine. That's the girl for me. And
Yeah.
then he, okay, and then
found.
how does he call her? How does he get her number?
Yeah, found number and didn't say how find the number. This text.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. let me just check with Jose if there's anything you would add to that. Jose, would you add anything to that story? So we got that he saw her on TV. Somehow he got her phone number. And what happened when he called her, Jose? Was he able to reach her on the phone? Hello, Jose? Uh-oh, I don't hear Jose. Okay, well, we'll come back to this part of the story. Let's go to Mr. Vicente first. Vicente, what about how Shakira met her husband? What can you tell us?
When they get married.
How did she meet her husband, according to your story?
Yes. Well, Shakira know Michael Caine because he one night watched advert in TV, and when he watched Shakira, he found her, but the flatmates of Shakira don't speak Michael Caine with Shakira. Finally,
hang on a second. Her flatmates.
Yes, flatmates don't
or didn't.
Didn't.
And her flatmates didn't want her to speak to him. Didn't want her.
Didn't want her. Yes.
Why? Why did they want her to speak to him?
Because they think is a problem with Shakira. Speak with, I think.
Exactly.
Finally, Michael Caine speaks.
Do you remember the word that they used to describe him? What did they call him? A person who is bad to women is what?
No.
Sylvia, you're a woman. What did they call Michael Caine? What did the flatmates call him? What did her flatmates call him? Do you remember the word?
No.
What do we call a man who mistreats a woman, Sylvia? You know? Womanizer, yeah. And the other word you said is also good. Misogynist. Misogynist.
Okay.
And look in the chat window. You can see both words. So let me see. Let's see if I got this right, Vicente. Michael Caine, world-famous actor, calls Miss Goiana, Shakira, on the phone. And her flatmates don't allow her to speak with him because they say he's a womanizer. So she doesn't speak with him. Oh my goodness. So how did they end up getting married, Vicente? How did
because finally he speak with her.
Okay.
And they got married.
So when he was finally able to get through to her, right? Now, let's go back to Group A for a second. Jose, are you out there? Because we was trying to...
Yes.
Ah, you're back. I tried to call you, but you're away.
Okay.
So, in your part of the story, how does Michael Caine finally end up talking to Shakira? Do you remember how it ends?
Because he was calling a lot of time to her at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many times does he call? Do you remember?
I didn't remember how many times he called her, but I think it was a lot of times.
It was pretty obsessive, yeah.
Yes, it was very obsessive about talk
And
with her.
do you remember something surprising about the very last time he called at the very end of the story?
Yes,
What did he?
she told him that she was washing his hair. It was an excuse.
She said she was washing her hair for like 12
Yes,
days in a row.
yes.
Right, very good. And Rohan and Sylvia and Vicente, was she really washing her hair? Was she really washing her hair for those 12 days?
No, I
No.
think it's
What was happening for real?
really she didn't speak with them with him
Because
because she think it's a womanizer.
exactly. The real reason is that
Usually,
she thinks he's a womanizer, so that's why she doesn't speak with him. And on the 12th time he calls, by coincidence, she happens to pick up the phone, and finally he speaks to with her. And does the story have a happy ending? Group A and Group B, does it have a happy ending?
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
yes.
he had a happy marriage for 36 years.
For 36 years. Is he still married to her? Does anyone know? I'm just curious. I don't know anything about his biography.
Yes, they are still married. I did just Google search.
They're still married.
Yeah.
So they've been married for like 40 years at this point or more, because this was written a while ago. Fantastic. Now we know how Batman got his wife, or Batman's butler. Okay, very good. So listen, all of that, you'll notice in the story there's lots of examples of surprising events. And I want you to notice how we talked about those surprising events. So I'm going to move this forward a little bit to, we've already talked about these questions here. I think you know the differences between the two versions of the story, and I think you know what the surprising events are. Let's look at the third conditional. Look at these two examples at the top of your screen right now. Okay? Look at these two examples. The fact: he was watching TV one night and he saw Shakira. Remember that part of the story? The fact. Next, we have an imaginary situation. If he hadn't been watching TV, remember, the guy, was he busy? Did he usually watch TV, class?
No.
Did he? No. The guy never watched TV. He was too busy. But one night in 1971, he happened to be watching TV. And if he hadn't been watching TV that night, he wouldn't have seen Shakira and met his future wife. So, explain why the second sentence is imaginary. Is that clear why it's imaginary? Sentence number 2, what do you think? Someone want to give me an explanation? Why is that sentence imaginary? How do we know it's... Yeah.
Because it isn't real. It's...
Yeah, because he did see her. Right? So that sentence is not real. It's something that we can imagine about the past. Give me a second here. What else do I want to say about it? It talks about a situation in the past which is not real, as you said. Okay, next. Compare the verb tenses into two sentences. What verb tense is in the fact sentence? What's the name of that verb tense, class? Anyone know?
Past continue.
Past continuous is correct. Uh-oh, better get the door. The mailman is at the door. Past continuous is correct. Was watching. What verb tense is in the imaginary sentence?
Past perfect continuous.
That is the past perfect what?
Progressive or continuous?
Past perfect continuous. Hadn't been watching or had been watching. Past perfect continuous plus, look at the second half, wouldn't have seen. Do you see that? Wouldn't have seen. So that
Conditional.
is, it's the conditional with the present perfect. Have seen is the present perfect. Okay? So the third conditional is past perfect plus would have. Past perfect or past perfect continuous. Either one is okay. Plus would have seen, would have done, would have been, would have gone. That is the formula I want you to be aware of. Let's see if we can use the third conditional in a few examples. Look at the sentences in exercise 6. The first one is done for you. Michael was watching TV and saw an advert featuring Miss Goyana. If Michael hadn't been... Sylvia, want to finish that sentence? If Michael hadn't been... This one's done for you, so...
Yes, if Michael hadn't been watching, he will never...
Oh, did you just say will?
No, he would.
Would have. Don't forget, always have. Would have.
Met Miss Guyana. So Miss
Wait,
Guyana.
he did meet Miss Guyana. So you mean he wouldn't have met? Wouldn't have met.
He wouldn't have met.
Good.
Guyana.
Say that whole sentence again from the beginning.
So if Michael hadn't been watching TV, he wouldn't have met Miss Guyana.
Perfect. And that is the third conditional. Perfect. Not will, would. And not would have. That's it. If Michael hadn't been watching TV that night, he wouldn't have met his wife. Okay. Let's go around the room and try these. Rohan, look at number 2. Shakira didn't have the opportunity to study and... Sorry. Shakira didn't have the opportunity to study and became a fashion designer. You have to rephrase that. If Shakira had what, Rohan? Or you can also say, let's go with that. Let's keep it positive. If Shakira had what? She would have got what?
If Shakira had the opportunity to study and become a fashion designer,
yeah, she would or wouldn't have done what?
She wouldn't met Michael Caine.
Yeah, also she wouldn't have met her boss. And her boss is the one who got her into the beauty contest. Yeah. Remember? It's all these little coincidences that are stuck together. Imagine that she hadn't had the opportunity to become... Imagine that she had the opportunity to become a fashion designer. If she had, she would never have met the love of her life. Isn't that romantic, Rohan?
It's very romantic.
Very romantic. Excellent. Okay, Mr. Johnny. Look at number 3. Shakira was in the Miss World contest and she traveled to London. This one is entirely up to you. Make a third conditional.
All right. If Shakira wasn't in the Miss World contest.
Nope. You got to use past perfect. Past perfect.
So if Shakira hadn't.
Good. Hadn't what? Hadn't been. Good.
In the Miss World contest, she wouldn't have traveled to London.
Excellent. If she hadn't been in the contest, she wouldn't have traveled to London. Perfect. Mr. Jose, look at number 4. Shakira appeared in a coffee advert.
Shakira hadn't had appeared in a coffee advert.
I heard too many hads. I heard too many. Say it again.
Shakira hadn't.
Yeah.
Had.
No.
Hadn't appeared.
Good.
Hadn't appeared in a coffee advert, Michael wouldn't have seen her.
Excellent. That's it. If Shakira hadn't appeared in a coffee advert, Michael wouldn't have seen her. That's the other coincidence in the story. Excellent job. All right. Vicente, look at number 5.
If Michael hadn't found out that Shakira was in London, so he wouldn't travel to Brazil.
He wouldn't have traveled to Brazil.
Wouldn't have traveled to Brazil.
He wouldn't travel to Brazil. Perfect. Once again, if Michael Caine hadn't found out that Shakira was in London, he would have traveled to Brazil. He was going to go to Brazil to find the love of his life, and she was right there next to him. Imagine that he hadn't found out what her telephone number was. He would have left the country. And in reality, she was like in the hotel next door. Fantastic. That's another coincidence that came up in the story. All right. Who did I miss here? Karam, can you take a look at number 6 for us?
Yes. Shakira answered the phone and the couple started going out together. If Shakira hadn't answered the phone and the couple had
What?
had
Would? You got to use would. Would or wouldn't?
and the couple wouldn't started going out together.
Almost. You're missing have. It's always would or wouldn't have in the second part. Always.
Yeah.
The couple wouldn't have
started going out together.
Excellent. That's it. If Shakira hadn't answered the phone, the couple wouldn't have started going out together. That is the third conditional. Excellent. Okay. Any questions so far about the form of the third conditional? Notice how all these coincidences have to be expressed using the third conditional because we're imagining a past that didn't happen. This is how we use our imaginations. Okay. Ksenia, I was just about to call on you and you're leaving. I was just about to ask you a question. Okay. So listen. Here's what I'm going to do because we don't have a lot of time. Forget about this thing about pronunciation. It's not that important. Forget about this. Oh, you know, we're missing something here. Where is my other example? Later on in the document, it's on slide 15. I'm probably going to change the order of the slides here. Later on in the document, you have a way to practice this. On slide 15 and 16, you've got some more exercises for you to practice. And you can do this on your own. But you can also use this now just as a summary of what we learned. The if clause has the past perfect or the past perfect continuous. If I hadn't been washing my hair, I would have answered the phone. That is the consequence. We have the condition on the left, the consequence on the right. If you had seen the last film, you wouldn't have enjoyed it. And finally, in the box, if he'd, meaning he had, asked her out on a date, would she have said yes? So we have different forms of the sentence, but the one thing that doesn't change is the condition side on the left has the past perfect or past perfect continuous. The consequence has would have in all the choices, whether it's positive or negative. Now, you can try that on your own. I'm going to go to slide 12, and what I want you to do is think of something which has happened to you or you've heard about connected with one of the topics below. Here are the topics: how you met your wife, your husband, your partner, your best friend, something which you lost and found again. Lost and found stories are always good. Meeting someone in a faraway place who has a connection with you. Have you ever traveled? This happened to me, actually. I can tell you a funny story. or any idea that you come up with. Prepare to tell your story, and if you like, use the questions below to help you. Number 1, what are the key elements of the story? Think about the important events. 2, what parts of the story are surprising? And 3, this is the most important, how might things easily have turned out differently? That's your third conditional. Okay? I'm going to give you a quick example, and then, Ksenia, you're going to be brave, and you're going to tell us a little story. Okay, I'm going to give you an example first. I'm going to talk about meeting someone in a faraway place who has a connection with you. This is a true story. I used to live in New York. Across the street from my apartment was a little cafe. And I used to go there because it only had like 12 or 15 chairs. It was really small. And you could kind of read and do your homework and write. Every single day, there was a woman who used to sit kind of across from me in this cafe because she lived like upstairs or across the street. I recognized her because I saw her every day. Later, I moved to another country. I moved to Portugal. One day, I was walking to the center of town, and I saw that woman walking in front of me, and I was like, where do I know her from? And then I realized she was the woman who used to sit in front of me in the cafe in New York. Pretty weird, right? Here's the weird part, even stranger part. Later on, I opened a newspaper and I saw that there was a concert taking place. You'll never guess who the woman was. Turns out, I saw there was a Patti Smith concert taking place in Lisbon. The woman that I was sitting in front of in New York, who I didn't recognize, was a famous rock musician from the 1970s and 80s called Patti Smith, and I saw her in New York, and that's how I found out who she was, because I didn't recognize her in New York. True story. Isn't that a surprising event?
Yes, Harry.
Ksenia, can you pick a topic? Oh, I forgot the most important part, the third conditional. If I hadn't been walking through the center of town, I would never have realized that I guess I had coffee with Patti Smith in New York and never knew it. There's my third conditional. Ksenia, give us one. What happened to you?
Okay, it's a simple story. A few days ago, I went for a walk and found a little bird. It was a martin, and he or she, I don't know, it lied on the ground, and I think it was a big bird, and I think he almost died, and I should brought it to some vet center to care of him. So I brought it to vet center, and the doctor or vet said me that it was a little bird and I should just throw it in the air and he fly away. So he did it, and the bird flew away. So if I hadn't picked it up and brought to the vet, this bird would have died on the street under the car. Or cat because this little bird only could fly on the walls or we should help them because they have very tiny pores and they couldn't flow away down the street, ground, something like that. So we should help them.
So the vet threw the bird up in the air and the bird flew out the window and you never saw him again? Really?
No. Yes.
Did he leave a thank you note or anything?
No, nothing.
Wow. What an unappreciative little bird. You saved his life and he gave you nothing in return. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Very good third conditional, by the way. Very good. If I hadn't picked him up, he would have died. Very good. You will win the Bird Humanitarian Award, Ksenia. Very good. Who else has got one for us? How you met your wife, husband, partner, best friend, something you lost and found, an animal that you saved, meeting someone in a faraway place, or your own ideas. Who's got one for us? Who's got one? You do, Sylvia? Excellent. What's yours? I saw you raising your hand.
No. Yes.
I did. I saw you raising your hand.
So it's number 13. Hold on.
Pick a
It was
topic from 12 and use your third conditional in 13 to tell us about this strange event. Go ahead, try it.
When if I had been at school now, I would.
Wait. That's not the third conditional because you're talking about it now. So you've got to talk about a strange event. Events are in the past. Yeah. Think about it for a minute, okay? We'll come back to you in a second. Think about it for a second. Anyone else have a good story for us before we go? No? Not even you, Johnny? Not even a fishing story?
So probably I want to use the third condition to summarize the story. So if I hadn't used the new fishing rod that day,
right,
I wouldn't have caught a huge salmon in the ocean.
Yum, salmon. Yum.
Is it the right sentence?
That is. That's perfect. Excellent. Very good. What do you think, Sylvia? You got your story now? Remember, you can use the third conditional at the very end to talk about, what might have happened or what might have been different. If I hadn't blah, 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 I would have or I wouldn't have. What's your story, Sylvia, before we go?
If I hadn't go to the same school,
if I hadn't gone. If I hadn't
gone to the same school,
right,
of these strange boys, I wouldn't have never met him.
I wouldn't have met
him.
Oh, I see. Instead of never, you got to keep it positive. I wouldn't ever have met. Not never. Yes. I wouldn't ever have met. You met a strange boy?
Like yeah, maybe. I was only thinking about the third conditional.
Okay. Well, the third conditional there is correct. Anyone else have a story for us? Karam? Vicente? Rohan?
No, I
oh, come on. Oh, come on. You got to have a story. Okay, I'll tell you what. We have to stop here. Write your story, and if you want me to correct it, send it to me, and I'll correct it. Okay? Send it to me in the message window. Don't forget, later on, you have this slide, which has all kinds of exercises for you to get extra practice. Okay? I need to change the pages a little bit because, as you see, I have some blank pages. So I'll clean that up after class. Okay? But you can try that on your own, and I'll put there it is. And I'll put the answers there for you to self-correct as well. Okay? So that is all about the third conditional. And I think we have mastered conditionals because we've done the first conditional, 3 classes on the second conditional, and mixed conditionals, and now the third conditional. So now you should all be experts. And if I test you on in the future, you should all know how to use them. Okay? I'll be back for 2 hours tomorrow at 10 GMT for Learning from Pictures, where you see strange, bizarre, and unusual pictures that are all real photographs from around the world, and you have to narrate what you see. In the second hour, I'll do language games where you'll be going on a pronunciation journey. You have to navigate through the map using the right phonetics, and I'll throw in some other grammatical things that we've learned during the week. So check that out tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.